So we're here at Bishop Stortford after a 2-2 draw with Welling caretaker manager Harry Wheeler. We'll persevere with the groundsman behind on his tractor. But Harry, I'm going to ask you firstly, what are your thoughts at a 2-2 draw after that game?
We've got away with murder. Let's be blunt. I don't think we were nowhere good enough to win the game. Probably didn't deserve to have a point either. I mean, first 15 I thought we were the better side, and then after that, from 15 minutes till the last 10, they were easily in control of the game. Couldn't get a foothold. Questioned some of the players' work rate at times and desire to really go and dig in when you need to dig in. And I think the point is we should be delighted with that because we didn't deserve it.
First of all, the goal scorer and Vass, what did you think on his debut? Back at the wings because he was here before.
Right, I thought could have done better at times. Scored the goal, looked effective first 15. Is always going to be a threat, but maybe didn't affect the game enough as we'd like him to later on. As the game progressed, we would want him to be more involved and stay in the game a little bit. We call it staying in the game, and he probably didn't stay in the game enough.
Our starting lineup today, we had no Ricky Howes, and then obviously no Dean Leacock to come in, which would have meant we wouldn't have had to move people around.
Yeah.
How much did it hurt? We've said it before, taking Danny Waldron out of our midfield and putting him in the defence.
It seems to be the Tuesday night curse. They used to do it. Last one was St Albans, the same thing. We desperately didn't want to take Danny out of there, and we know players like Adam Everett that they've got in there that are that type. You can see even when Dan went in there for the last 10, we started to get a grip on things, and it may have been a different game. I think maybe it would have been, but we can't make excuses. Obviously, Ricky's got food poisoning, so it was unfortunate. Dean had a family issue, and this just happens to have been on the same day. But losing Danny out the middle, it shows how important he is with his tenacity, and I think he gets others getting around the pitch. I think his work rate, and I think it rubs off on other people. And when you're as a centre half, you can't go and get about everywhere on the pitch. So we missed it again, and it seems to be that Tuesday night curse, unfortunately, that coming with us. But this time, at least, we've taken a point from the game.
Having had the same kind of situation before, were we tempted at any stage to maybe put Harry Crawford in midfield with either Sam or Ali? Because do you think we might have got a little bit more energy, a little bit more legs, a little bit more pace, a little bit more work rate in the centre of midfield, which may have combated then?
100% tempted. 100% tempted, and even before the game was a temptation. And we have to sometimes show faith with others. But we dropped Harry in there later on as we took Ali off, and just to try and get a little bit more of a goal threat from midfield because Danny Waldron trips him with goals, and he's not a too dissimilar player. He works really hard. Harry is an honest lad, just as Danny is. They're both very honest lads. They'll give everything they've got, and they're the kind of characters you need in that game. And it's a shame we didn't have Ricky because Ricky's the same. Ricky would dig in and fight and battle when he has to battle. And so we lost that a little bit today. By losing Ricky, we kind of lost two of those type with Danny dropping back. So we wanted to do it. Tried to do it later on. Probably could have done it earlier, but in hindsight, it's a wonderful thing, and we probably could have got a little bit more out of the game if we had done.
Did they get far too many clear chances at goal, Harry, and missed too many open goals and too many great chances?
Yeah, I think we were too square at the back. I think at times Shawnee was too square. I think Danny, you know what Danny's like as a centre midfielder, you can get away with it. As a centre half, he was too early on. I said to him, he's coming out to the right back, he's coming out to the left back position, and he's just leaving us open up. And that's, you can't blame Dan. It's not his position. He's through a will of trying to, do the best he can for the team. So we just had a little word with him, told him to stay at home a little bit, and it tightened up a little bit. But second half, it opened up again. I think we're way too flat at the back and we're too square at times.
So we'll talk about, we got back in the game at the end. I mean, we were lucky probably to get back in the game. Great work rate, great belief from the team to go on. Let's not completely sort of have a go at them. They kept going till the end, and they got us a result here, which we'll go home gratefully with. But we were fortunate with the way the goal went in. Was it the goalkeeper? Not for the first time, it's gone through his hands.
Fortunate with the way it went in. We said at half time, keep putting it on the keeper. The set pieces second half weren't good enough. The quality wasn't good enough, but the aim was to put it on the keeper. The one we did, we scored from. Sometimes it goes for you. You get luck like that. Early in the season, it seemed to be every deflection went in against us. So you'll get games like that. And as I said, if we keep our home record strong, then our away record of picking up draws isn't a be all and end all. And if we go and win Saturday, 6 straight home league wins in a row. And if you'd take that, 6 straight home leagues in a row is brilliant. So if we can get that, then again, this point doesn't seem as bad. But I've just said to them, if we're giving you that license of allowing you to take draws away, then you've got to go. You must make sure Saturday you take 3 points. Otherwise, the last 3 games are not good enough. It will be decided on Saturday.
At the end there, I could hear from over there on the gantry how shouts for a penalty, which led to the 2 red cards. Firstly, should we have had a penalty at the end there?
No, I don't think so. I think it's I think there's a very slight contact, but not enough. I don't think it's a penalty at all. So no, I wouldn't say so. No.
And then your comments on the 2 red cards.
I saw theirs as he leant in and did it. From what the ref has said, is our player apparently has reacted and retaliated, and so he's had to send them both for retaliation. I didn't see it massively clean enough because there was quite a few bodies around by then, but by their lad's reaction, maybe he did, and we'll have a chat with Sam. He's an honest lad. If he did, it would be through frustration, but unfortunately that happens, and maybe if it'd just been their lad that had gone the last 5 after that, we may have even got further into the game, and maybe we could have gone and won it.
I will ask you, you might not want to answer it, bearing in mind it was like a violent conduct red card. If you decide it was a red card, is that a fine?
No, it depends on attitude and that. No, not necessarily.
On camera, say goodbye because we're going to talk about you in a minute.
Goodbye.
Good luck, Welling.
Yeah, thank you. Right, good luck, Welling, of course. I said that to the boys. Hope you guys stay up next season, get promoted, and I'll see you guys soon.
Whatever, mate. Take care. See you in a bit. Yeah, I'll speak to you.
And we're going to talk about this man in a minute there, but back to just briefly.
Yeah, no, I don't think, in terms of the final, we talk to the player and his reasons why, and we'll judge it from there. Sam's one of our best in terms of being professional. As you can see, he's always playing in the league and he's got a great attitude. He gives everything each time he's in, and so it's not necessarily about that. If he knows, it's not like he's going to do it every week, and he's one that needs to be disciplined all the time. So we'll have a chat with him privately, but I wouldn't think so, no.
Right, so we'll take a result. It will give us a bit of momentum going into the next game. It's important. We've had a bit of result here. Well done for getting the result. Now, as you said, let's get the 3 points at home. Yeah,
I mean, I give him a little bit of a reality check afterwards because they've all walked in and gone, that's a good point. It's a good point because we deserve nothing, but it's not a good point because you should beat Bishop Stortford. And no disrespect to them, with the quality that we've got in the side, we should win the game. So I just give them a little bit of reality. It's only a good point because you deserve nothing. So if our levels had been better and we'd drawn, we wouldn't have been happy with it, and they should have been better. So it's Saturday, okay, we take the positive that we got the point when we didn't deserve it. Maybe that'll create a little bit of momentum that we've played bad and we haven't lost. But Saturday is paramount now, and we have to go in with that. And without Adam, and we've got other good players that have to chip in, and they're going to have to start putting in their fair share of goals because we can't rely on him anymore.
The supporters today, midweek game?
Yeah, they're brilliant every time. It's nice to see them come back in. They've been supportive. They clapped them off at the end, which is the main bit. I always look at fan reactions. I think it's important. They're a massive part of this. And so as soon as the whistle went, I looked over and see what they were, and they were clapping them. So, we salvaged something from it. They probably saw the little fight in the end for the last 10 minutes and maybe got that. Maybe if we hadn't given that fight, I'm sure they wouldn't have been clapping off, and they wouldn't have deserved to either. So I've made sure the lads went over and they know that, they're sticking by them, and then Saturday we go and hopefully we can give them a lot more to cheer about.
All right, well, thanks for that. We'll move on to talk about the man who was just in shot there. Fans would have seen yesterday on the Sun website pictures of Adam Coombes with a Sutton United scarf with the Sutton United manager, and then obviously a lot of people would have been really surprised to see Adam Coombes in the Welling United lineup. First of all, can you tell us, is Adam leaving the club, and how did the situation arise where he was playing tonight?
Yeah, Adam's leaving. He's going to go to Sutton. He's signed a good deal there, and he's going to. And good luck to him. It's inevitable that in the end, when you're scoring that many goals, people are going to take notice of you. My only thing would be that I think he'd play higher. I definitely think he can play higher than the conference, and maybe if he'd held out, maybe he'd got a bigger one in the summer. But at the same time, you can't take risks. It's 5 minutes from his doorstep. It's a good club. They're well run, and we wish him all the best. I think he'll go there, and I wouldn't be surprised if he carries on his goal scoring form there exactly in the same manner.
Are you disappointed the way that stuff was leaked over the internet before he's played for us finally, and it's all been done properly?
I think mainly for the respect of our fans. I think that's the main thing, is the respect to our fans, is that they should be told by our club and not by the Sun newspaper. So yeah, we're disappointed that Sutton or whoever has allowed that out before he's finished with us tonight, and it'd been nice for us to tell the fans ourselves rather than you see it on the newspaper. But these things happen, and it shows what attraction he is because they're talking about it on the same night after they've just played Arsenal. So he's a very well thought of man, and I don't know how long he'll be there, because I think if he carries on, then he's just going to keep stepping up, and he's a great lad, and we wish him all the best.
Some words on his character. I mean, he has been non-contract. There have been 7 days going back months. There have been approaches, but the way he's conducted himself with the club at all times, professional and no trouble at all.
100%. He's no trouble in training, no trouble at any time. He's turned down clubs, that have offered more money because he enjoys it and he wants to stay here. sometimes do things that are too good to turn down in the end, and that's gone to another extreme. But his attitude was defined by tonight. He doesn't have to play, you know. He didn't. He could have said, "No, do you know what? I don't. In case I get injured, I'm not going to play tonight. I've just signed a deal," and you know. But I texted him today, and I just said, "The UK headspace," and he said, "Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm desperate to play. Like, he wants to play." So he was out there, and he was, you know, it meant a lot to him. And he's with 10 minutes left, asking how long it's going, and you know, he's got a really good heart, and he's a very easy player to manage. He works hard. He does what he's asked to do. He's never trouble, and with the goals he scores, he's a pleasure to work with. So you know, he does. No one deserves it more than he does.
And nice at the end there with the fans, where he went to the fans, give them a wave goodbye, and they was all thanking him, and that was nice, wasn't it? Just to have a little goodbye.
Yeah, that's his character. Exactly. I said the character of him playing, the character of him doing it at the end is no surprise. I didn't tell him to do that. You don't need to tell him to do that. He's a respectful guy. He's very responsive to what you ask him to do, and they'll have a good player, a very, very good player in their hands, and he will definitely strengthen their side.
And if it doesn't work out for any reasons, he'd always be welcome back at Welling, I guess.
100%. Look, he can't finish any better than that. Although he didn't go and score the winner, or what is an ideal scenario, he's shown us the respect to come and play. Said he wanted to try and get the win for us tonight, and you know, so 100% he's always going to be welcome back here. You know, there's no disguise that we'd take him in a snapshot.
Right, quickly on to Saturday. Thursday's training session. What's going to be the agenda there?
We're going to manage the players properly. Download. We've got obviously Saturday, Tuesday, and possibly again afterwards. And you know, we're going to have to manage them in the right way. Fatigue is very important, and so people sometimes get mixed between fitness and freshness, and sometimes they're just not fresh rather than they're not fit. And you know, they're fit lads in there, and we've got to make sure that they can be at their full fitness on Saturday. So it's going to be quite a download session, a little bit of shape work. We're going to try and tighten up the back, looking at the shape, but it's going to be a little bit more downloaded in terms of work rate, because we've got to make sure Saturday we give them no excuses.
We've got an aircraft going over. I do want to ask one more question, Harry. What's that, Air Force One or something? I wanted to say that I was impressed with Reece when he came on. He showed me glimpses that he's quite direct, fast. He wants to have shots at goal, and he wants to get forward. So we talked about fast, but a quick word on Reece. Yeah,
Reece's game is he's a massive, very, very good impact player. And that's no disrespect to say he can't start, and he of course get his opportunities, but there's parts of his game we can help him with to work on when the game's tight. You can't always do the same things all the time. You know, with his character maybe be quite predictable from the beginning, but when games open up, Reece is fantastic. He'll cause a lot of problems in there, and as you see, he's very, very direct. And suddenly within a day, we've got a lot of pace in the side now. We've brought a lot more pace into the side, and hopefully that's going to prove over time that we've got a lot more to get off from the bench. And when we look around on the side and we need a little bit of help, we look at the squad. We look at people can come on and affect the game. As he did, he won the free kick for the goal. So he had an effect, and Vass scored the first. So both lads that signed have come on and affected the game.
Harry, thanks for talking to us. Take that point home and tuck it under your arms, and hopefully we can go on and get a few more results now, because we've probably let them and a few other teams back in it, but we've had a bit of a wake-up call, and we'll see you Saturday.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.